So last night, one of the craziest people I have ever seen online decided to come into a YouTube stream and to brag about how they were weaponizing my police department where I live. This has become par for the course from some crazies out there too, with these people posting pictures like this in front of you, bragging about how they're calling Warren County, the areas that I live at, posting the sheriff's department number, saying they're filing false police reports. Now, I've removed this person's online moniker, but look at this here. Look at what they're saying. Tug knows all about the disappearances, after all. People have gone missing from the family property he currently resides at. They're talking about filing false police reports, by the way, to harass my grandfather. There is already a report on file at the Warren County, Tennessee prosecutor's office. This incident will be added to it. Now, part of what they noted in that, of course, is falsehood. The prosecutor means the DA in these areas, and the DA, they haven't had any calls there. I know, I spoke to them myself. But what they're doing is they are hitting up the sheriff's department, and they're reporting, again, my grandfather's property, so they can go out and they can harass the guy. Now, this behavior has become so normal that I pretty much ignore it these days. Create a sock puppet account in the name of my mom and the name of my stepfather, harassing their church. Already seen it before, although it is sad that people want to call it too. They did the same thing to a mental health center as well, one that I formerly worked at. Here's Monica Rial, who was in the middle of a lawsuit because they had tried to interfere with someone's job, going out telling people to call a mental health center to see if I still work there, resorting in the out-and-out harassment of the place where people tie up crisis lines for over a day because, this is just normal online behavior. Now, a lot of that behavior I can ignore, and I do. I mean, these days, you block the people, you put them out of sight, out of mind, but they're escalating. And I'm wondering there, when the police, they're not taking this kind of stuff seriously, how far away are we from a swatting attempt? I mean, it's weaponizing the police, just like these people tried to weaponize CPS, and it is absolutely crazy, as I'm going to show you in just a moment. So, hey there. Now, one thing that I did tell SJW Captain America is I was going to pimp his ass because you know what? If they hate me, I'm going to give them a reason to hate me. We have a brand new comic book. This is how we take on the mainstream. This is how we go out and avoid sponsorship. And this is me working with some great people and my daughter to create a product. These people have mass flagged us, trying to take us off the air. SJW Captain America is one that sat out there and bragged about it. They've tried to go out and threaten us in real life to the points that I'm going to show you and beyond. And that's not going to stop us. So if you want to back a good product, do so. But also, if you want to do that, and you do, put in the comments, thanks SJW Captain America, because you know what? I say, if they're going to do this stuff, laugh at them and make sure that they understand that you're ridiculing the fact that they're absolutely pathetic. This, by the way, is SJW Captain America. This is his Twitter account. Now, he's a thirsty boy, too. He's doing all of this apparently for a cosplayer to impress them, because he was one of their orbiters, and I guess bathwater is expensive. He has a family and kids as well, but he spends all of his time obsessing over me, which is the craziest thing I have ever seen. Now, for myself, I do not instigate or I don't interact with these people at all. I have blocked these weirdos out because you know what? Out of sight, out of mind. But that doesn't stop them from putting together an account, I'm talking thousands of tweets aimed my way. And these things, like I said, they're not, oh my God, you're stupid. Oh my God, I don't like you. They're, hey, here's your personal information. Here's where you've worked. Here's the name of your wife. Here's the name of your children. I'm going to post your child's face. So I'm going to read this post to you. But before that, I want to explain some background to it. So in April of 2019, I was doxxed, and subsequently we were threatened and we had property damage ensue. I've never been able to tie the property damage to anyone, but we have a police report on file and everything else on it. And these people, they felt emboldened by that because you can't prove anyone led to it or on. Now in this, after a a while, I start using my own name, especially with trademarks and whatnot, because why shouldn't I? These people, they pick up and they say, ooh, you doxed yourself here, despite the fact that they had already gone out and done the doxing, and they were already talking about personal information. They doxed my financials in that time. They doxed anything in my past, and you can see that they're running background checks here, and I don't have any background like a criminal record and on. I couldn't do the jobs they doxed if I actually did. Now, at first, I thought that this guy probably wasn't the brightest bulb in the shed. I would still say that, but he is set out to try to damage my name professionally. You can see here, for example, we have multiple addresses. These are places that I've lived, but for some reason, when he does that, he gets a stays in one place as well. I don't know how you live at 3 places and yet stay in one place. I also don't have a criminal record here. I would have to have a criminal record for this kind of stuff here. But he says there, hey, you've shared the same address with your wife for 19 years, therefore your wife was 13 when you met him. No, I actually met my wife when I was in college, but, I shouldn't have to talk about that at all. And these people, like I said, they've tried to do that kind of stuff because they are absolutely crazy. Now, despite what this guy is doing, and despite the thousands of messages out there, I do not interact, and I do not try to do anything with what he's saying, because this person isn't obsessed. They are mentally ill. I say that with certainty. Having a background in mental health, having diagnosed many a person, this guy's actions showcase he is clearly mentally unwell, and I hope that he would walk away because he has a family in this. Again, his actions are going to be detrimental to them. Now, despite all of that, this person, they escalate, and they decide they're going to take this stuff into the real world. They decide they're going to mail something. They direct message me about it, telling me ominously that they're mailing something to me, and they start posting later on that it's going to be this novelty shipment. Now, the problem with that is you don't know what they're shipping, and also in that they're not shipping it to me. This is not my place. But they could harm somebody else. This is my grandfather's property. Basically, they're reaching out and they're harassing other people to try to get to me because they don't have their information right. So during this time, I end up blocking the guy. I want no interaction with him whatsoever, but someone sends me a post talking about what he's saying because it looks absolutely unhinged. He posts about how he is going to be going to the adjoining areas that surround where I live. Basically, if I lived here, he's going to be going to all the surrounding areas. He's tagging me into the conversation, saying, but hey, I'm not going to come where you live. Imagine what kind of threat that is. And again, with somebody that is obviously fixated and obviously unhinged. Now, despite that, I end up ignoring this guy just out and out. I want nothing to do with him because other crazies are out there trying to do their damage in their own way. Now, I try to BTFO one of these people, telling them pretty much, I know who you are and I know about you out there. And because of that, they start screaming about, oh my God, that Umbrella Guy is a doxer. We're going to call the police. And they start posting things like this, which this guy is involved in. So I'm looking at posts like this, talking about family property again. That's my grandfather. They're harassing with all of this stuff, and they're making police reports saying that people disappear on his property. Now, I go out and I talk to the prosecutor. That's the prosecutor there, would be the DA. There's nothing filed with the prosecutor. But then I see them posting this. This is the rebuttal. Oh my God, we are talking to the prosecutor. This is the sheriff's office number. So when I go and I talk to the person in charge there, they tell me 2 things. And one of them, it was absolutely insane. They tell me, yes, these people have been contacting, but they also tell me when the person came here and talked to them face to face, they had said about the same thing too. Now, I asked him about that. I was like, you mean one of these people was here They came to this place in the middle of nowhere, and he confirmed that. Yes, they actually came here. They came to where I live to try to weaponize the police department. Now, during all of this, you have sock accounts pull up talking about being my parents and actually talking about their church involvement. They go out and they dox my parents' church, their names and on, because that's not unhinged behavior. So not to be outdone, Captain Crazy comes back. And when he comes back, he starts messaging people, not under this account, because he's blocked by almost everyone. No, he starts messaging people under his real name. He starts threatening a 6-year-old, saying he's going to dox their face, which he's already done, and he's going to do more, and there will be nothing that you can do to stop him. Now imagine what kind of threat there is from a guy like this. Now his spin for that is he says that there's a sock puppet account out there ran by ThatUmbrellaGuy and their family. I mean, think about how unhinged this is after stalking my family for over a year, and we're doxing his kid. I don't even think that sock account exists. If it does exist, he's probably running it. And if not, it's probably the people he's linked up with that are also terrible human beings. You run with terrible human beings, they do terrible things to you. I don't have any sympathy for you, but I hate to tell you, man, I don't want anything to do with you. Can you imagine someone in the mainstream actually dealing with these kind of issues? But hey, we have a small voice out here. We have a comic book. So a guy step away from swatting. We're supposed to deal with this in silence. I say no more. If we can't get the police to interact with it, then I'm going to monetize this sucker. And yeah, I'm going to monetize him well. So you know about the channel? Well, here's the comic book. Another case for the littlest umbrella. This is 40 pages of all ages Lovecraftian goodness with that umbrella guy and little umbrella girl facing off against an ancient threat in this all-new adventure. Now, little umbrella girl, this is my 6-year-old's avatar. So when you have us together here, we have a detective archetype and his sidekick going out and basically taking on some world-shattering evil. And this is meant for everyone, meaning everybody can involve, everyone can have fun with it. So check that out, back it if you'd like, and make sure in the comments again you say, thanks, SJW Captain America, because without crazies like that, you wouldn't really know what you're fighting, would you? Thanks.